they have restricted so much of what we can do in real estate because we're a special category. But the one thing they haven't restricted is that you can create custom audiences of people if you have the data. So if you bring the data to them, then you can create ads or boost your content to a specific group of people, right? So now the light bulb's going on for people. So you go, okay, well, let me pull in all of the expired listings and let me put those on Facebook and let me do a very specific piece of content that's about why homes are not selling in the market today. Well, that's going to resonate with the people whose home just didn't sell, right? With the expired listings. That's going to be far more effective in getting their attention.
Thanksgiving was good. Got over COVID. Sunday was my first day where I didn't have brain fog, which was yesterday.
Oh, man.
So just in time for Cyber Monday with REDX.
That's right.
I love it, man. This is gonna be a fun one. I'm glad you guys are doing this because you're offering so much for the least amount I've seen it. So
yeah.
Really quick, everyone, thanks for joining us. We've got Curtis from REDX. He runs REDX out in Utah. He's a good dude. Hopefully you get to meet him at one of the events. And they've got an amazing product. Now they've expanded it to include social media, which we'll talk about. But it combines everything that you're so used to if you've been in the business for a while, a lot of the old school stuff, and now bringing in this new piece. I think it brings everything together, man. So where do you want to start with this?
We could just start talking about how crazy the market is right now.
Let's talk about that because I think the market, one thing that I'm noticing, because you look at rates, mortgage rates, and then you look at the mortgage applications, those have been going up.
Yep.
So as the rates have been stabilizing in the low sevens and even high sixes, I'm seeing.
Yep.
It's allowing for more people to decide that they want to purchase. So that's cool, dude. It is crazy. It is a crazy.
Well, it's been crazy for the whole year. I mean, inventory, anytime, any of us that took economics are looking at the economy going, this is not supposed to happen. Supply and demand are not supposed to go down at the same time, right? But low inventory and then interest rates and everything. So yeah, it's a crazy market. But all that means is, here's what we see, because we've been around 20 years. This is our 20th year in business, which is why we're doing some crazy 20-year anniversary stuff for Cyber Monday right now. But and we've seen a lot of different markets. Not to mention we're in all of North America, and so you get down into state economies and different markets, and we've seen a lot, but we've never seen anything like what's going on right now.
Never.
And it's nothing like 2008, but there is some commonalities between any time, even in a market or town or area or country where things get crazy, is the top producers end up taking more market share when things get crazy. So you have a lot of top producers that decide to double down. And we do a lot of interviews. We're pretty data-driven people. And so we do a lot of interviews to try to figure out what are top producers doing in this market, and why are some people, nobody's closing the gap. The top producers are getting out ahead even farther than a lot of the other agents or teams. And so we're asking why, and they change their strategies. If the market changes, they end up changing their strategies. And I'm not saying change it from, tried and true, like sphere of influence and referrals is always going to be your best source of business. Expireds and FSBOs and pre-foreclosures and all these people who are really close to a transaction are going to be your best bet to find new people who are going to do a transaction in the next, 90 to 180 days. But the way that people are looking at, or the way they're going after them, changes when the market changes. And so we're seeing top agents that are switching up their strategies, and in doing so, they're taking more market share. So when the market really comes back, think of what that does for their business over time, right?
Well, we've been here before, man. And I think the clear thing that we've seen is that we've been here multiple times and we always have about a 6-month lead when the market turns. And those 6 months can the 6 months will, how's this? It will, because we've seen it. It will create the most amount of revenue for you than at any other time in your business. And that's why I'm looking at this and saying, what are the biggest opportunities we have? And I'm going to show you. And we didn't plan this. So let me pop it open. I took
If people haven't figured out we don't plan anything before we jump on here, I want to share the best, the sale we're doing, but we'll get there.
Okay, so hold on, damn it. We don't, it's funny, we don't plan it. It ends up being amazing anyway. I'm going to share with you my prospecting plan for 2024. Okay. And I wrote the book Real Estate Prospecting, right? Now it's a bestseller thanks to you. So I'm going to show you on MindMeister. Here it is. We've broken it down into 4 things. And you guys are part of 2 of these. And you integrate with some of this because of the remarketing into all of them. But I call it the X factor, which you guys are part of in our coaching. And if you look at it, I'm going to take you up right here. And this is what we're actually doing. We were including for rent by owners because we know that a lot of people bought Airbnbs. They hate owning. They realize that being a landlord sucks. But they thought it was amazing because the guy on Instagram was saying it. So for rent by owners. And then
just in case people don't know what those are, we call them for rent by owners because they're rentals that are managed by the landlord. So they're renting it themselves, right? The owner is the one doing the renting and managing and landlording of that property, which is why they are realizing this sucks, right? So they're realizing this is harder than I thought it was. And the for rent by owners get delivered at the height of that landlord's frustration when they're looking for a new tenant. Right. And so, and so people don't realize what a great listing opportunity these are right now. Even interest rates and even everything going on. A lot of these people have no idea their equity position, and they would rather take that equity position than continue to try to the grind of finding tenants all the time. So, these are a great listing opportunity.
Well, here they are, dude. I went to one Albert Fowler here locally, right? I had the market conditions. Only one of the numbers is on the do not call. And then you've given me 4 email addresses. So this is a for rent by owner. If I take a look on Vortex, which is your system, right? I can narrow it down to for rent, but you call them Furbos, right?
Yep. Furbos.
I call them Furbies. I don't know if you remember Furbies.
I do remember Furbies.
I call them Furbies. All right. So next we've got expireds, new expireds and old expireds. For us, we realized that calling new expireds, we have a small window for calling the new expireds because we don't like getting yelled at as much. Some people love it. We don't. So we call in the window of 8 to 8:30 a.m. Right. And then the ones we talk to, we handwrite notes, text, we go further, right? The ones we really want, we door knock, and the ones that we really want that we haven't gotten a hold of, we also handwrite notes directly to them, which we've gotten expireds on. Old expireds, we don't do as many. We call them only on 1 time a week. And then we kind of do the same thing we were showing you above. Next, for sale by owners, in our market, they're not working as well, but we don't stop calling them. What's working really well for us in our market are the first 2. And then the last one for me, the secret with geo leads, which are right over here. You see, if you're looking at my screen, you've got geo leads. We've got an area that we've pinpointed. It's Via Colinas. There's 670 or so homes. It's a tract. But when we're narrowing it down, what we're looking at is just focusing on these things. You see how it says just listed day 0 to 1, just sold day 0 to 5. And sometimes we say, hey, we have a buyer if we do. But for us, these top 2 really work well, Curtis, because if I'm calling you in your area and I'm doing it just listed, the only way that you're going to care and talk to me is if I tell you on day 0 that you have a listing down the street from yours and you haven't even seen a sign. And you're like, what? There's a house down the street from me for sale? Oh, what is it? Tell me. I want to know the price.
Yeah.
So that all of a sudden creates value because of the timing. And now if I follow up with just sold, by the way, Curtis, I just sold, or the home over here on the street so and so just sold. Remember I called you, was just listed. Well, it just sold for this price. Day 0, again, nobody, they haven't gotten any notes about it. They haven't talked to the agent. They haven't seen the sign that said just sold. You're the first one. And so you have to use these tools like REDX in this way, man. So that's what's working for us.
That's awesome. And here's the thing is, well, and back to what the strategy is of and you're doing it. It's that I think for a lot of years we could get away with being a really niche prospector. You could just be an expired prospector, or you could just be the FSBO guy. And you could get enough listings and inventory from just doing that, that you could continue to build your business. But right now, what the top producers are doing is they're saying, well, I'm going to work an entire bucket of people that are really close to a transaction. And you got to shift the lens. It's slightly different conversations with each different person, but not really. They're people who really need to transact. Expireds are raising their hands and they're really frustrated that it hasn't happened. Same with FSBOs. Pre-foreclosures, they need to list, whether they need somebody to come in and be a hero there. The great thing about that is unlike any previous time in the last 20 years is that they're usually not upside down. They're just late on their mortgage. So you don't have to do the whole short sale bit. You can just get it listed. And if you can call them before an auction or sale date, and that time frame is less than the days on market, you can actually put money back in their pocket because of the equity. So that's a great listing lead right now.
I agree.
And so you have these, and then of course neighborhoods, people who are close to, because we know that when people list and sell in a neighborhood, that more people in that neighborhood are start to think about, okay, if this is happening, and they're more likely. So those all of those combined become a bucket of people who are close to a transaction, right? And that bucket, if you want to do deals in the next 3 months, I don't know where else you're going to get it. I mean, you still work your referrals in your sphere of influence because they may know someone who's really close to a transaction, but an internet lead is not going to do that in the next 3 months. NAR says the internet lead conversion is 0.4% with up to a 24-month sales cycle. So you're going to go generate 1,000 leads, and spend thousands and thousands of dollars to do that on an internet lead. That's a good strategy. You could do that. A lot of people do that, but that's probably not going to bring you business in the next 90 to 180 days.
It takes a while, man. So our second source of business are online leads, and it takes a while.
Yeah,
it does take a while. And I think the key to what you're saying is let's focus on the people that want to or need to make a move right now based on what we're seeing and the things that they've put into place. Like for sale by owner, they want to sell. Expired, they were trying to sell, they just couldn't.
Yeah.
Right? Geo, that's a little bit longer term, right? Which is that just listed, just sold. But again, you're giving value, you're building community. That's part of our building community plan. And then the very first one, which is for rent by owners, they're not sitting well. A lot of these people say, why did I even do this? Right? And we're watching it happen. That's why. The other part to this is you've combined this now with social. So what does this look like? What you guys call brand builders that you added? Yeah.
So, and this is great because we just had a question in the chat about what strategies for each. And so let me talk macro and then micro.
All right. So before I have to answer a question.
Okay.
Because it pertains to this. Charles and anybody else thinking it, we do have a playbook for this. And I went over it in coaching, and I will give it to Curtis to send out to anybody who signs up. Let me show you how it looks. This is our playbook. It's actually called Prospecting for 2024. You're going to see what we're doing for our core database. You're going to see what we're doing for online leads, and you're going to see what we're doing for X Factor, which we just went over, right? for rent by owners, expires for sale by owners, and geo leads. And then what we're doing for the community, which X Factor is part of as well. So I'm going to send this over to Curtis so that if you sign up, you get this so that you kind of have a game plan.
Awesome.
Is that something that you guys want? Just give me a yes so I can see that that's valuable, or I can also throw in Curtis, I can throw in the MindMeister flow chart as well.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll send you both, Curtis.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
perfect.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, we're getting some yeses and thank yous, and that's awesome. Okay, where were we? You asked me.
Brand builder.
Okay,
I wanna know
yeah.
How does this all work?
Okay, let me. I'm going to answer your question. Forgive me. I'm gonna get there in a roundabout way. As you are casting a wider net in your marketplace, really of everyone who's close to a transaction, the reality is you may not be able to call all of those people. We still believe calling is a great strategy. It was part of Tristan's strategy. Connection rates are still worth picking up the phone and calling and connecting with people. There's other ways though that can make your prospecting way more effective, and it's through branding and social media and getting the attention of the people who are likely to transact. And so we a few years ago started to really double down on social media and figure out, well, how do we get the attention? And the first thing that you have to understand about Facebook and Instagram, especially where your largest buying pool is still hanging out on Facebook and Instagram,
Yep.
is that they have restricted so much of what we can do in real estate because we're a special category. But the one thing they haven't restricted is that you can create custom audiences of people if you have the data. So if you bring the data to them, then you can create ads or boost your content to a specific group of people, right? So now the light bulb's going on for people. So you go, okay, well, let me pull in all of the expired listings and let me put those on Facebook, and let me do a very specific piece of content that's about why homes are not selling in the market today. Well, that's going to resonate with the people whose home just didn't sell, right? With the expired listings, that's going to be far more effective in getting their attention. Well, if you can get their attention and you're filling up the news feed with your face and your voice and your branding and your messaging, well, when you pick up the phone, it's a totally different experience. Or vice versa. You pick up the phone and they say, you're the 10th agent that's called me, right? And they hang up the phone and you're the only one they're going to see when they're, scrolling through Instagram later that day. And they go, oh, that's the person who called me. You increase your chance of converting those to inventory, to listings, right? And so we and look, we didn't make this up. We went out and interviewed all of the people who were like crushing, they were taking the data that we were giving them and they were massively increasing their inventory. And we called them and said, what are you doing? Right. And this is what they were doing. And they did it very manually. They would go and they would take that and they would upload it and, pay virtual assistants and pay people to maintain that. And we decided we'll just build a tool. That tool is called Ad Builder. Ad Builder is what connects your data to Facebook and Instagram to create custom audiences and then maintain those. So like expired listings, there's new expireds every day, plus people are relisting every day. Well, you don't want to be spending money on Facebook or Instagram to target somebody who's not likely to convert to business. And so we maintain those custom audiences in real time through the Vortex platform so that everything that you are doing in ads, and then the tool also helps you create the ads, and we have ad templates, and we have some cool things in there. We even, do a course on how to use AI to really create really good ads to do that.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
remember that one. I saved that one, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are good prompts to put in. And so that's Ad Builder, which is part of everything we're doing Cyber Monday. So let me just insert here, if I could. Cyber Monday, we're taking all of the leads that we have, plus our Ad Builder, plus a dialer, and we're putting it into a package for you at a never before seen price. It's pretty crazy right now what we're doing. So, but then to get to your question, we also have a product called Brand Builder. And Brand Builder is not for everybody. I would say it's for the more advanced social media users, because it's it's an investment. You're going to invest $1,500 a month on that product for Brand Builder. But what it does is it's an app on your phone that uses AI to create video scripts.
Okay.
Helps you record those. It works as a teleprompter, so I can record my videos. And then we have essentially a team of 100 employees that we've created a content assembly line. So they take that video, they timestamp it, they splice it up, they create the captions, they create the background music and the emoji stamps, and they kind of match your style and tone. And then they'll do all of the social media management for you on that.
Let me just showcase that really quick, because I want to show everything really quick.
Okay, yeah.
Really fast. So here's Brand Builder. So in essence, forget the pricing, because that's not going to happen today only. But what you do is you send the video, they edit it out. You get unlimited video edits, which is great because some of us can't edit videos. They have a video script that they send to you so you can actually read it if you want to read it, right? I don't read mine. I kind of just do bullet points, but a lot of people have to read it, and that's fine. The teleprompter, there you go, built in so you can read and take a look, and it makes you look more professional. And then they worry about uploading it and everything else, and they give you updates all along the way. They pretty much have solved the challenge for putting up the content, editing it, even the ideas behind it. All you have to do is sit for a few minutes and shoot the damn video, and they'll make you look amazing.
Yeah.
That, along with everything here that you're seeing, expireds, geo leads, FSBOs, Furbos, Furbies, foreclosures, the dialer, which I don't want to start dialing, but that's the dialer, right? And everything else that comes in this. Like the other part is the market insights that I love that you guys have. So we can quickly take a glimpse of the market, right? All of that. What are you doing for us all together?
Okay. So right now we're doing, now I'll share my screen because now I'll give you a visual here. So is that showing this screen?
I got you.
20th anniversary bundle. Okay. So we're doing all 5 of our lead types with the plus upgrade. That's what gives you a whole nother layer of premium data with email addresses, lifestyle interests, demographics on the property, the market insights that Tristan just showed you. It gives you 7,500 geo lead lookups each month, right? It gives you all of those things. The prospecting tools, so ad builder that we talked about, the power dialer, which is the dialer, a smart number. Now this is critical right now because a lot of people will call and they'll say, oh, the data's bad from one source or the other, but really it's your phone number's bad. And right now, if you go buy a brand new phone number, it's like 90% likely it's showing up as spam when you call somebody, likely spam. And so a smart number is spam monitoring and remediation. And so we take that phone number, we register it, and then we monitor it. And if it ever shows up as spam, we go to the major carriers and remediate that and get that spam tag removed for people so that it increases your throughput, which increases your connection rates, and therefore your success. So all of the data is normally $4.99 a month. The prospecting tool is $160 a month. And then we have all of this training. This goes to Charles. We're also now including Tristan's playbook, right? If you sign up, but the training education, we're doing a 3-day boot camp. This is where we spend about 3 hours a day. It's a virtual boot camp. We go through each lead type, what to do with them, how to prospect them, how to overcome objections. We have actual, practitioners on helping teach that. There are people who prospect every single day in their business. They'll live prospect. And then we have one day where we just go through social media, what kind of ads to build, how to create them, all of the AI prompts that you would want to use, our tool that you're getting as part of the package. We're doing all of this stuff for just $299. So there's no setup fees, there's no anything. And if you're on here, then you can do 20% off any of our brand builder products if you wanted the video tools on top of that.
Wow, dude. Okay. I've never seen this price before because you didn't even have brand builder last year, right? The
No,
ad builder.
or the ad builder. Yeah. So it gets a little crazy, with everything we're doing, but that's the whole point, is we want to help people go into 2024 with an actual strategy, actual huge bucket of people who are likely to transact. Because otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to jump on and you're going to keep spending money on coffee, and you're trying to get referrals from your sphere of influence. And here are the people who are most likely to transact in your marketplace. And then here's the social media tools to get their attention. And here is the dialer to connect with them.
I love that, man. And look, how we're going to use it is partially built into that whole plan that I shared with everybody. I just texted it to you, Curtis, so you'll have
awesome. Yep.
it by text. And if you look at the community aspect of the doc, one thing that we're going to do is also remarket to a lot of these people using that tool that you have, because the other piece that you didn't even mention, which I think it's even more valuable in the current world we're in, only because of the attraction factor, right? That's why I built LabCoats, to attract people to me instead of having to go and get them.
Right.
You have added a component to everything that we're doing, whether expireds, for sale by owners, geo, for rent, database, right? Now people can see whatever ad we want, those videos that we're building or different ads, they're being retargeted. And if you want to just target expireds with an expired message, then they can do that for you. And you didn't even bring that up, but dude, that's part of what we're adding to our community, the remarketing with the specific message for these people. Yeah. Can you expand on that?
Yeah. This goes in and you and I, Tristan and I did a training on this just not a couple weeks ago, where we really dive into it. But yeah, there's so much noise in the marketplace right now, and they're saying right now, it's not the 7 to 12 touches we used to think it was. It's more like 30 to 50 that you've got to be in front of someone over and over and over and over and over again. Well, the way that you can hack that is by understanding how the brain works. And we don't have time to go too deep into this, but essentially your brain is constantly trying to solve the problems that you're dealing with right now in your life, which is why you're talking about something and then you look on social media and you think, oh my gosh, they're listening to me. Well, that ad may have been there for 3 or 4 weeks and it didn't even register. But now that you're thinking about it because someone mentioned it, and then you're on there, you're like, oh my gosh, I was just talking about wool socks the other day. And now they're listening to my phone. Also, they could be listening to your phone, but that's for a different
that's a little different story.
So, but if you speak directly to the problem, so when you can target a niche like a expired, and they feel frustrated and they feel embarrassed because they told everybody around them that they're moving and then it didn't happen, and so they got to deal with that, and they're frustrated with our industry, and they're seeing all the news and the commissions, and they're mad at agents, all they have those emotions. And if you can speak to that, they're going to pay attention the first time it comes across their newsfeed.
Yeah, dude, the message, the video would be like something along the lines of, doesn't it suck when your home didn't sell and you wanted it to sell, right? Or whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. I mean, you could get really crazy and jump in there and be like, doesn't it suck when 10 agents call you on the same day because your home didn't sell? Where were they when you're grabbing their attention, they're paying attention, and then you have a message that positions you as the expert or the solution or the person that can help them get to where they want to go. And that becomes cheaper marketing, right? You think about, what's my home worth, and I'm trying to generate a lead, and I'm competing with everybody else trying to generate that same lead. versus not even a lead gen, not even a call to action, not even a fill this out. It's boosting budget. You can boost a video to 3,000 people for like $50, right? So you take all the expires, and it's just they're seeing it over and over, and you're speaking to their problem. And then yeah, when you pick up the phone and call and you say, "This is Tristan," they're like, "I've seen your videos." One of the best testimonials we get is when one of our customers says, "I was at an open house and somebody said, or I was on the phone with someone, they said, 'You don't know me, but I know you.'" Right? That's what we're going for. That's not a cold prospect. That's a warm
No.
prospect. They know who you are.
Well, that's
So
why we're
yeah,
adding that component to our database, which you allow us to do too.
yep.
So
Yep. So the ad builder, the brand builder, everything. This is seriously, it's the craziest thing we've ever done. It is today only. And so the warning is if you call in, you might have to wait on the phone a minute, but that's okay. It's worth the wait. The small investment. There's no hidden fees. There's no setup fees. There's no processing fees or anything on top of that $299. And the $299 will get you everything that we have, and that is a lifetime price, right?
I love that, man. That's awesome.
So
Thanks
call
for
us. There's the
together.
link is in the chat. You can also call us at 1-800-731-7339. Please mention that you were on this webinar, and that you saw Tristan and I talking about it, and that way we know who to send the playbook to, and the mind map here.
I was about to grab it right now. Let me see if I can copy and send it over. On the community aspect, we didn't get over this on this, but part of the remarketing that you're going to do when they're getting handwritten notes, postcards, we're doing door knocking. Here it is, retargeting. Right. This is where we're using it to be that local celebrity, that feeling like they know me because they keep on seeing me, right? That feeling like they can connect with me because of the same feeling we connect with, I don't know, a Harrison Ford. Like, I feel like I know Harrison Ford, right? But he doesn't know me. Same idea, right? So
I talk about you and I think we finally met in person after I don't know how many years, but even before that, I felt like I knew you because your brand was in front of me all the time. And so yeah, I think it makes sense. And you think about the competition where somebody else is calling and they're just burning through calling. I got a call this morning because I have some rental properties, and it went just like this. One, there was a long delay before they connected, so I know they're using really crappy dialing technology. Ours does not do that. You'll hear the hello every time. There's no beep. There's no delay. It's a live connection. And they said, "I'm calling about 123 Street. Yes, that's my house. Would you accept a cash offer? Probably not. Thanks. Bye." And they hung up. I'm like, what a dumb script.
that wasn't
What a dumb script. But the other thing is, imagine if I had seen an agent over and over in my newsfeed talking about the equity position right now. It's the best time to sell. It's the best time to list your home. There's never been a better time, over and over and over. And then that person calls and says, "Hey, this is Tristan." I go, "Tristan, I've seen your videos." You go, "Yeah." And then we get into a conversation about why it could be the best time for me to sell a rental property right now. Right?
Yeah.
Because they're calling because it is vacant right now. I'm looking for a tenant. So,
it makes it a lot easier. So thank you for piecing this together. $299. Somebody asked, is that price, is that stay permanently?
Yes. That's $299 a month. As long as you're an active customer, that's the price that you'll get.
Yeah, as long as you keep on paying and you don't cancel, like you stay consistent, then yeah, it stays on there forever.
Yep.
I have a question that wasn't asked, Curtis, and I'll let you go.
All right.
If you add something to REDX, like you guys added ad builder, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you add something else, like you just added a smart number, which I love, does that get added to our $299 or no?
No, it's a great question. And the answer is I don't know. We have some stuff that we've been working on and ready to launch. and our best opportunity for beta is to include it in there. So as we go into the new year, we have some new features to the Vortex platform that we are going to include for people to use. But I can't make the promise now whether that's forever. But
That's a maybe.
so you're saying there's a chance.
Is that
What I can say is that our active customers are who we go to first.
That's true.
And 100% of them have an opportunity to try pretty much everything we ever do, especially as part of a beta group. So if there's active customers on here, call us up. The other thing that we're doing is we're not going to pull Verizon or AT&T here. If you are a customer listening to this, I don't care what you're paying, call us. We'll put you on the $299 a month plan.
Oh, dude, I love that.
Yeah. So
I like that. Bob has a question. Can we add users for our team? How does that work?
So everything is designed to be an individual account. But Bob, the best thing for you to do is call in. If anybody else has that question, call in and talk to somebody about your team structure, because there's as many answers to that as there is how you design your team. So call in and talk to somebody, and they'll help you out.
Bob, what I noticed, because we've been running with REDX for years now, is that we have including me, we have 4 people on this, but I've noticed that one agent on the team doesn't always use it, and they're like, all of a sudden they haven't used it for 6 months. So we say, hey, well, you're not using it, I'm going to put it on somebody else, right? And then that somebody else takes advantage of it and uses it.
Yeah.
So you could always do that, Bob, but we have 4 right now. Just trying to help you out, Bob.
Yep.
All right, Curtis,
Okay.
I sent both of those links. Everyone
Got
else?
it. So anybody who signs up, make sure you mention LabCoat or Tristan, and we will make sure that you get the extra stuff that he's sending out. And
We'll give you a link, Shannon. The number again for REDX. Is there a number, Curtis?
they can call in. Yeah, let me.
Wait, what's the number?
800-731-7339.
There it is. And then Brittany says, I signed up online. How do I get the bonus content?
If she signed up through that link, that's easy, that you'll get it. If you didn't sign up from that link, it's okay. We'll get it to you since you made a comment there, because we'll get the webinar chats from Tristan afterwards. And
Curtis,
make
you
sure
can just send it
everybody's on
out to everybody, buddy. You could be like, hey, look, here's the added content of somebody's plan. Just that
Done.
way we don't miss anybody.
Okay, you got it.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Curtis.
See ya.